Did you get malaria when you were young? Same. So did most of the kids in Africa. Hello friends and welcome back to our YouTube channel. In this video we will talk about the grave effects and after effects of malaria in Sub-Saharan Africa. Before getting into this, let me introduce some terms to you. Foremost, what is malaria? For those of you lucky enough to escape its clutches, malaria is an infectious disease caused by parasites called Plasmodium that are transmitted to people through the bite of female Anopheles mosquitoes. For those of my friends who did not pay attention to their social science classes and still read WHO as WHO, or World Health Organization is a specialized agency of the United Nations responsible for international public health. And for my geographically challenged friends, the Sub-Saharan area covers the regions of Africa that lie south of the Sahara Desert. Now that you have been brought up to speed, let's get into the actual video. Malaria is a major predicament affecting people all over the world, especially Sub-Saharan Africa. Every year, over 500 million people become affected with malaria, with 80% of them living in Sub-Saharan Africa. Of all the people who lose their lives at the hands of malaria, the majority are young children below the age of 5. Mortality rate due to malaria is 45% globally and 49% in Africa. To combat this problem, WHO commenced the Global Malaria Eradication Program in 1955. The program focused mainly on vector control by distributing chloroquine and spraying large amounts of DDT. Over $1 billion spent and the result. The Sub-Saharan region saw an increase of 10% in the number of deaths due to malaria. Apparently in some Asian cultures, the number 14 is related to forgetfulness, and WHO took that literally. It took them 14 years to admit that their malaria eradication program in Africa was, in fact, a complete failure. The reasons for this failure are quite conspicuous. Sub-Saharan Africa has neither the money nor the infrastructure to support such an elaborate program, and it couldn't be run the way it was meant to. Employing a plan successful in resource-rich countries like Brazil and the US, and expecting it to work in comparatively impoverished African countries with entirely different geographies and systems of governing was counterproductive. Moreover, chloroquine is now almost entirely ineffective in Africa as the malarial parasite has developed resistance towards the drug. Oh, seems like we're forgetful too. Apologies for not mentioning earlier, but chloroquine is a medication primarily used to prevent and treat malaria. Because of the inconsistent use of this previously useful drug, the sub-Saharan population has to resort to the use of more expensive medications. This is a harder blow to these countries which do not possess the adequate resources and capital. Instead of wasting billions of dollars on fruitless campaigns, a seemingly simple but cheap and effective method that can be used to prevent malaria is the implementation of ITNs, which are insecticide-treated bed nets,
as well as diagnostic testing and life-saving treatments.
We have seen great progress, particularly in Africa. We have much better coverage of bed nets.
These bed nets stop mosquitoes from biting people, and they help reduce mosquito populations in a community, thus helping people who don't even own bed nets. Moreover, they are very cost-effective. They cost roughly $2 to make. Each net can protect 2 adults, and they last very long. Hence, in a region like Sub-Saharan Africa where money is so scarce, a low-cost program like this was of great benefit and was very successful. It's okay WHO, you just made a rookie mistake, that is killed millions of people. Rather than the campaign revolving around treating the ones already infected with malaria, the focus should be on preventing people from contracting the disease in the first place. This is the only way malaria can be eradicated for good. A family whose member is malaria infected spends about a quarter of their income for their treatment. In this way, Africa loses about $12 million every year. Malaria eradication not only increases the general health of the public but also impacts sectors such as economy and education. When fewer people get sick, the working population is stronger as a whole because people are not put out of work from malaria, nor are they caring for sick relatives. Hence, eradicating malaria is necessary, for it will contribute to the overall development of the region. Now that you all have been educated, our job here is done. That's all for today's video. And for more factual BS like this, please subscribe. See you in the next one.